Good morning. Today is August 9th. My name is Marty Hicks. I am a relationship coach. I do personalcoach.com. Join my private Facebook page, Loving Yourself from the Inside Out. Go to my website and you can get your free offer and check out all those things, other things that are offered on that page. Today, the topic is giving yourself permission. And I'm considering, why do we need permission? What do we need permission for? It's a mindset. I'm guessing most of us here that listen to this probably came from homes that maybe weren't safe. We weren't allowed to express ourselves or our feelings. The messages might have been something like, children were to be seen and not heard. If you're going to cry, I'll give you something to cry about. You can fill in the blank. There's all kinds of messages that we got as children that didn't allow us to be who we are. And as a result of those feelings, we get left with, I'm not worthy, my feelings don't matter, I'm not important, I'm not enough. Again, you can fill in the blank. There are many things that come as a result of not being allowed to feel what we feel. The purpose of giving ourselves permission is to shift our consciousness around the messages that have been ingrained in us. These have been lifetime of messages, which creates the neural pathways in our brain. There's old wagon wheel ruts on the ground that you can still see today from when people traveled across the country in wagons. Those are the ruts that get created in our brain. They get deep, deep ruts that are hard to get out of, and they get created from our habitual thoughts. When we begin to change the thoughts, it can be difficult. It can be difficult because those ruts are fairly deep. Getting out of them, you get out and then you fall right back in because they're deep and they're habits. Giving ourselves permission means that I'm giving myself permission to do something different. Giving myself permission to feel something different, or to feel maybe what I'm really feeling. And I've never been allowed to feel that. It's challenging. It can be very challenging to feel those feelings that we've not allowed ourselves to feel because of the messages that we received as children. Our messages, we just live there and we don't realize that there's something else that we can do. Giving ourselves permission shifts the brain, shifts our consciousness to allow us to feel what's happening. Behind the habit of anger, fear, whatever those habitual things are that keep us from feeling what's really going on. Sometimes we'll check out, do things to distract ourselves from the pain. We keep busy, we keep going all the time, we talk about everything else but what we're really feeling. Those are our habits. So, and here's the paradox. Sometimes we need to disengage from the rat wheel. I call it a rat wheel because we're having the same thoughts over and over and over and over, and we're not really getting anywhere. So sometimes we need to disengage by distracting ourselves because it helps me to refocus and shift my energy out of the same habitual thoughts. And there's a permission place for that. You know, we get so busy just, I got to go work. I got to go do whatever it is we got to go do. And sometimes we need to go do something that takes us out of the head space and into the heart space or the ground. I like to ground in the earth. So getting grounded. On the other side of this, that's a paradox. It's kind of counterintuitive sometimes that when I'm in the same habitual thought, I may disengage to go refocus and do something else. It allows a space for new thoughts to come in. When I'm in pain, sometimes I need permission to feel pain. And that's the paradox of it all. It doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes. So knowing when and what to give ourselves permission for. Giving ourselves permission to feel the feeling sometimes gives us the space to know what's behind our habitual feeling. I feel like I'm talking in circles. Something happens in our world. Something triggers us, and I'm mad. My MO is to get mad. Sometimes I need to give myself permission to feel what's under the mad, because that's just how I react. So what am I feeling behind mad? And I need permission. Because I've not been allowed to feel my feelings and the hurt behind the anger, because that's what I was taught. I may need permission. So, it's okay to feel what's behind the mad or the blame or the guilt, whatever that is that we know how to feel because we're comfortable feeling it. Is that making sense? I know you muted yourself.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Felt like I was getting off kind of this obscure place. I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I'm making sense here. So something happened a few weeks ago, threw me way off my game, way off course, just out of my center. And as a result of that, and I keep rehashing it, keep reliving it, moving forward. I'm trying to move forward. And then suddenly something else happens. And I'm way ultra. So I had to give myself permission to really feel what's going on. And then go to myself with something else. I'm just in it. I'm in it and I'm rehashing the same shit again. So for me, I go do planting. Some people go for a walk. Some people meditate. Some people pray. I was told one time to do it until you feel different. Good things, whatever those are. Sometimes we have to give ourselves permission to do those good things. Sometimes we don't have time to go do a long thing. So it may be that I go for a walk or I go hug a tree or I go do something that changes the headspace that I'm in. And we often we get to give ourselves permission. Because we just think we have to stay on track, stay on work, stay on whatever it is. But my head's not even in it. My head's not in the game because I'm over here in this thing that happened. There's a place of giving ourselves care. Many of us were taught that we care for others, we care for the children, we care for our husbands, we care for our friends, we care for everybody else, and we don't take care of us. We don't do the things that help us be fulfilled. So we have something to give. You know the old saying, you put your mask on first if the plane's crashing before you put somebody else's mask on? How many of us would actually do that? I think today I would. But there was a time I wouldn't. I would have been worried about everyone around me. Let me take care of them first while I'm dying because I didn't put my mask on so I could breathe. That's the purpose. But we don't even know that sometimes we need to take care of us. Sometimes we have to give ourselves permission. Or someone else. That day that I got triggered by something else, I called someone because I didn't know what else to do. And I've been rehashing this for weeks now. And then I got triggered by something else, and she said, why don't you go do something else? She gave me permission. So I forgot. I forgot for myself. So sometimes we need to do that. We need to have those people in our lives that remind us how we need to go take care of ourselves, because eventually we're going to be that for them and others. That whole cycle of life and why we need each other and the relationships. Because when I forget to give me permission, then I can call someone else who will. Is there anything else? I was thinking, is there anything else that there's probably a lot more around giving ourselves permission, but that's the basics of beginning to learn and remember to give ourselves permission. I'll stop there. Okay, now you have to unmute yourself so you can give me some feedback, share with me, what did you get, or did you think of something else?
I wasn't sure if you were going to stop the recording. Like if you were done.
I'm done, but I usually will do the sharing part and keep recording it.
Oh.
Unless you have things that you don't want to be recorded.
No, it's fine. I think for me, I am what you described, right? I will put on everybody else's mask, but the opposite is I'll think that someone will reach over and put on mine, right? Mm-hmm. So while I'm doing everybody else's mask, I'm resentful that someone isn't doing mine. And then won't you feel bad that I die? So don't you?
Right.
So that was the first thing that came to mind when you said that analogy, because it is true. You know, it's very, very true that I personally get very busy, and you know, I forget to do the little things for me, and you know, there's no big apocalyptic thing that I'm not doing for myself. But it's the little stuff like getting a pedicure or having coffee with my best friend, like making those times. It's very difficult sometimes for me, you know, so I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, the simple things, right? Keeping it simple.
Yeah, because if you miss enough of the small stuff, right, if you miss enough of the small, then it makes the big stuff really, really hard.
It does. It does. I remember when my dad died, I had to really, there was, in the very, very beginning, I had no choice but to just be in the grief. But there came a point where someone else had to give me permission to move past my anger, to feel something else. Because I could be mad, and that was easy. It was easier than feeling the hurt. And I remember somebody, Thanksgiving, she said, "It's okay. You want to talk?" And I said, "There's nothing to say." But she gave me permission to move beyond being so angry that he was gone. And that helped me to move. It had been July, August, September, October. So 5 months. I was sitting in my anger. I cried, but I was mostly angry. And when she gave me that permission and she hugged me, then I could move and not be so immersed in the pain of grief. It's pivotal. It's a pivotal moment I can look at and go, oh my God. And there are many of those where people have just, well, what if you did this? You know, so it because there are things I don't even think about. Someone presents it a little bit differently, and I go, oh. And it gives me another way of permitting, allowing myself to do something else or feel something else. Yeah. Anything else? We can be complete a little early, if you like.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. You know me, so there's other stuff I wouldn't want recorded.
All right, well, I'm going to stop the recording. Remember to check out the website, Hello Extraordinary Life. Get your free offer there for the first 3 steps, the beginning steps of loving yourself from the inside out. And check out other things that are being offered. All right, thanks.